welcome to my Wholesome Family series. Today's edition, we're still talking about facing challenges. And today we are talking about helping your children or training your children to navigate difficult seasons, difficult situations. And so far, we have established that we cannot run away from challenges. The same way as adults, we can't run away from challenges. That's the same way our children cannot escape it. And it lies on us to build them up, help them build to the capacity to be able to face challenges. And of course, it doesn't happen in one day, nor does it happen like a magic or a miracle. It's about the preparations we make. It's about the things we do on a daily basis to build that capacity, to build that skills, like training them to be patient, managing their emotions, emotional intelligence, being intentional in how we train them to delay gratifications, and a lot of areas of life that they need to work on, such that when challenges come, they would have been prepared ahead of time to face these challenges. So, difficult situations in families usually affect a child more than we know, more than we can imagine. And that's why you see children struggle sometimes in their academics due to the challenges going on in the home. So the earlier we realize that we have that responsibility to equip our children, to build them, and to enable them to grow up and being able to navigate their own peculiar situations, the earlier we become intentional in how we enable them and the skills we build in them. So usually the most important question I'll ask us is, are you really preparing your children to emotionally, mentally, and spiritually navigate these situations very well? Sometimes we may say we cannot predict, yes, but we can determine the outcome by at least giving them a chance to thrive. Okay? And I will refer us back to our teaching last week on how to build skill and navigate through family challenges. So, because that's where you will know how our children are affected by the way we parents manage our day-to-day struggles and situations. All right. So, the children who will fail the test of life, children who will compromise, children who will struggle with navigating family and life challenges in the future, are children who are not prepared as a child. You cannot control or manage the life of an adult. So remember that that child under your roof today is an adult in training. So you need to take this matter serious, because children who are never guided never get to become capable of handling situations. So that's why I always tell us, when a child makes mistake, it's not just about correction or punishment. It's about guiding. is about teaching this child. It's about what we call discipline. And discipline is guiding, is information, is helping this child build a skill around that weakness, around that uh, behavioral challenge that we think quick fixing will repair. No. Training a child, disciplining a child is beyond the correction or the immediate fixing we want to fix. And it's beyond us. It's not just about us, it's about that child. It's about their future. It's about them being able to navigate life challenges. It's about them surviving and thriving in this harsh and difficult world. Okay? And first part about is children, about the feeling of children. We need to realize that children feel more than we actually realize. Sometimes we are caught up in fixing things that has happened without putting into consideration what is the feeling of this child around what has happened. Because if we begin to see children that they have feeling the way we do as adults, it will be more important and more helpful in helping them fix these things appropriately. So children may not have the details of what has happened, but they sense, they have the feeling of tension, fear, emotional distance, anxiety, anger. I've seen people get angry when a child gets angry, like the child doesn't have the right to be angry because the child did something wrong. However, it's the feeling that a child has when he or she feels he's being maltreated. Just like you might be the one at wrong, but the response of someone around you may trigger you to be angry, even though you were the one that did the wrong thing. So that's the same way. If a child does something and we don't respond the right way, we trigger the wrong emotion. And once the wrong emotion is triggered, the window of opening for learning, for equipping, from for grabbing the knowledge and skill required to help this child might be lost, because at that child this child is struggling with his or her emotion. This child is thinking differently. Why you are thinking, okay, I'm correcting, I'm training this child, I want this child to be responsible. This child is sensing anger, hatred. This child may grow to despise you instead of embracing the change you are trying to bring to the table. So in response, you see some of them become anxious when they do something wrong, and they know you will find that they become anxious. Some of them may withdraw. Some of them may start lying. You realize that you will no longer have that chance to make the change, or the opportunity will become slimmer. All right. So when we are dealing with children, let's realize that the emotions are very active. So the same way you don't want someone to correct you in a rude way or disrespectful way, that's the same way your child don't want to be disrespected. So there is a way you can correct and guide and teach a child. Maintain firmness without breaking or losing the chance to make the impact or the change that is required. So where are we going? Because if a child becomes withdrawn, they will lose the opportunity to understand how to face difficult situations. Some of them may go into survival mode. Some may become, and some may become hardened. So you have two different children with the same action but different response. So you see them both on the extreme. One is withdrawn, one becomes offensive. Okay, so that being said, we will talk about how we can teach resilience intentionally. I know some of us will say we are what we are today because of the way our parents handled us. That's correct. But what we do not realize is that why some of our parents made us tough, some of our parents made some of us withdrawn. So you realize that some of us don't feel confident being in a gathering of important people because our self-esteem has been bruised. Some of our parents used to call us names. Some of them used to talk down on us. And then you will see adults today, they will tell you they are shy, they are camera shy. Is just because in their subconsciousness, they don't feel they have what it takes to be seen or to be heard. So this kind of people run away when they are meant to face challenges. This kind of people sometimes needs a lot of pushing and prompting to take initiatives, even though it's within them. Even though they are being prompted, they are being nudged, they have this idea, but to bring themselves to bring this idea to actualization, they lack the strength and the strong will. So how do we raise children who will be intentionally resilient? So resilience is built gradually. Nobody is born with it. Naturally, children want something now, like immediately. They just feel like, I want this, give it to me. I want that, give it to me. And that's why when you say no, they start crying because they think when they cry, they will get what they want. So when a child is asking for something, demanding, and you're at their beck and call, you are weakening the strength of delayed gratification, which is part of what builds resilience. When a child is trying something and you are going forward to help, to reduce the stress or the struggle, you want to make it easier for them, you are limiting their ability to build resilience. So you see a child trying something, they don't get it, they are just willing to let it go because they are not getting the help that mommy and daddy are always giving. However, when a child is struggling with something, you can stand by, touch them all, to encourage them to continue, to give on how to persist until they get results. So we need to understand that children are not automatically built upon with emotional resilience. So they build it through emotional safety. When they feel safe with you, they are able to try things. They are able to make attempts on things they will naturally not want to try with people they are unsafe with. So that's why as parents, it's your responsibility to make sure that your children feel safe enough to try hard things around you without feeling that they will be judged or that they will be laughed at or mocked or that they will be beaten up or punished for not getting something. We need to start encouraging children to put more effort on things, even if they don't get the results. Encourage, applaud them for the effort. So when children feel safe around you, even when they're having doubts of themselves and they feel okay, I don't lose anything by trying. Nobody will laugh at me. So you see them reaching out, making attempt, trying new things, even if it's dangerous things. So there are things we used to learn in a parenting academy I belong to. Thanks to Coach Wendy. We teach parents how to help children try dangerous things carefully instead of shouting them down, instead of always being fearful, projecting your own fear into them. Why not guide them? They are trying something. Okay, if you want to do this, you need to do it this way. Put your leg up first, do it this way. If it's cutting something, okay, hold your knife this way, cut. But sometimes, due to fear, she will cut her finger. Hey, she's a child. You don't allow them to attempt. So, how do you expect them to try difficult things in your absence when they can't try it in your presence because you're always pushing your fear into them, making them doubt what they can do and their abilities, withdrawing them from making efforts due to fear of getting hurt. Some of the great achievements of great people has been achieved through risk taking. And we must begin to program our children to take risk carefully. Because if we don't do it, it will not be naturally built into them. They are climbing a chair, and you know that chair, of course, there's high possibility of them falling down. But there's also that possibility of them not falling. How about you let them see the possibility of not falling and guide them into that pathway of embracing that adventure instead of fearing it and keeping away. And the more they try something and achieve it, even if they don't achieve it, but they have that confidence that they've done their best, they can try again, the more they want to try again. And the more they keep trying, the more they build up the skill of resilience, and the more they make effort and get results, the more they build the confidence of trying more things. But your child um want to climb a chair, you are shouting, come down, you fall, come down, you fall. You are projecting fear. She want to help you cut vegetable in the kitchen, you are shouting, you cut your finger. They even want to wash plates. You say, hey, she's 2 years, she's 3 years, she will pour water everywhere. In fact, you're even scared of the mess they will create. So you are restraining them, keeping them away, saving your house, making your house clean, and denying your children the privilege to build resilience skills outside the creativity and other virtues and benefits they will build from day to day engagement of trying things and gaining their confidence. You see children who face challenges, they are not able to cope because while growing up, they are always helped out or they are stopped from trying hard things because of fear they will hurt themselves. So you raise Ajibos who cannot fight for their life, who cannot fight for their destinies. So you help these children build resilience also through healthy conversations. And I've said it, when children make mistakes, sometimes what they need is conversations, discussions. You can even be instilling consequences, punishment, but calm and interact with them so that they understand why this is done and why they have to face the consequences. But sometimes we lose that window of opportunity, we just shut it off, and the change required is not instilled in the children. So I will always talk about research. The resilience have said that children cope better during stressful season when they feel emotionally connected to supportive individuals. Sometimes what your children want is that feeling of support from you. That even when they make mistake, they know they have the support of their parents or the adults in their lives. So what this means is that your safe environment and safe presence. I know why I say safe presence. Some of us, our presence scares our children more than our absence. So your presence around your children help them build resilience. And resilience cannot be removed from facing challenges. If we must raise children who will navigate through challenges, they must build the skill of resilience, and that lies on you. Then we'll talk about what children need during difficult seasons. One, the first thing they need is your reassurance. Children don't want to feel they are alone. It's scary. Even you, when you're facing challenges, you don't want to feel like you are abandoned or you are on your own. That's why we appreciate family, friends, companions, people being there to encourage us, people being there to hold our hands. That's the same way. When your children make mistake or they are in trouble, they want that reassurance from you that you are in this with them. So when your child make mistake, be angry, but let them know that in that anger, you are there to hold their hands, to guide them. Let them know that this they have done, they cannot avoid the punishment or the consequence, but you are here to support them through the process. So when a child has done something wrong, say for example in school, and they are expelled or whatever, instead of going to ask for a shortcut, be angry that the child has done something wrong, but let them have a reflective moment with you where you analyze what has happened and help them realize their own mistake, and let them that you are with them, but they will still have to go through these consequences as a result of what they have done. When we allow children face the consequences of what they have done, they will learn the lesson firsthand. So it's easier for them from that lesson to avoid it in the future. But when we take away the consequence, we go and beg the school forgive them, they come back, they will not realize the extent or degree or the depth of the mistake they have made. And then you are telling them they can always escape. They can always do something wrong, and mommy or daddy will find a shortcut or a way of escape for them. And then you are promoting what is wrong because they will do it again, knowing in their subconsciousness, mommy and daddy don't have allow me suffer. So don't save your children from suffering, necessary suffering. What else do they need? They need honest conversation. Your children don't need all the accolade and good words when you know something has gone wrong. This has happened. This is what it is. Unfortunately, we have to face the reality, the truth. So be honest with them. On their level, you may not share details, if it's not necessary. But if it is, do share. The important thing is that not be confused, because where there's confusion, that's where the expected result will not be achieved. So let there be clarity, let them understand, ask questions, talk about it, make sure they have understood what has happened and why things are the way they are and what is going to be done to alleviate the pain or consequence of what has happened. So have honest conversation, age appropriate conversation, because that's how to build trust. When they know that you can always tell them the truth, you can always maintain firmness, integrity, and still eh, allow them to face the consequence of what they have done wrong. They can always count on you to guide them when they want to make some decisions, because they know, okay, this mommy, this school, this that my daddy will give me the right advice so I don't enter into trouble. So we need to build a trust relationship. I've had people say your children cannot be your friend. That's the truth. But you can use the principle of friendship, building trust, connecting to them in such a way they are comfortable with you to tell you things even before they consider engaging in that action. But when we build a relationship that is strained between us and our children, that's where things go wrong. They hide to do things. When they're in trouble, sometimes it even pushes them far away from us to the wrong hands because of fear that has been created in their mind around us. And trying to run away from our harshness, they enter more into a deeper trouble. What is the next thing we think our children will need during difficult situations? They will need emotional permission. What do we mean by that? So many children are taught to stop crying, to be strong, especially for our boys. They will tell you, you're a boy, boys don't cry, you shouldn't cry. Man up. Even our men, our husbands are taught to hide, cover, and maintain. So they are not able to express themselves. They buckle it up. It stays there in their heart, overweighing their chest. So you see some parents not allowing their children to express themselves. What you do not realize is that when you make a child feel like their emotion should not be expressed, you are telling them that their emotion matter. But the right thing is to teach them how to rightfully express themselves. And that's why we do emotional challenge every year, where you're able to understand the different types of emotions and the best way to express this emotion, and even teach your children how to raise emotionally intelligent family. So you need to begin to allow your children express themselves, and the earlier the better. Don't get angry when your children are throwing tantrum. It's their age, and because they don't know the best way to express it, they just want to express it. So instead of telling them, shut up, stop crying, why not tell them, okay, I understand you are dead. I understand you don't know how to go about what you are feeling. How about you take your time And then when you feel calm and settled, we'll talk about it. How about teaching them deep breath exercise, counting their numbers, blowing air out? Children, how about you begin to teach your younger children, your older children or teenagers, how instead of shouting or instead of raising her to hit others, to calm themselves down and reflect before engaging? How about you teach yourself as a parent how not to throw adult tantrum, how not to be shouting up and down? Because sometimes we think it's our children, it's us not learning, not being able to manage our emotions, because that's how we learned, and that's what we are throwing on our children because they are learning from us. So how about we learn how to express our feelings respectfully? Okay, I'm not happy with what you have done. I wouldn't want you to repeat it again because it hurt me. Respectful way. Instead of calling people names, calling them idiots, that stupid man, you are this, you are that, and your children are watching you. And some of us swear to the extent of swelling on ourselves. Emotional expression done right way build children who are able to navigate life when situations become difficult. So teach your children to ask questions, engage in conversation, in dialoguing. So when they are not happy, they can talk to their peers. Please, I'm not happy about what happened. Can we talk about it? Have a conversation. Okay, I understand there was misunderstanding between us. Is it that we are not understanding each other? But I'm not happy that you took my toy. I'm not happy that you took my book. I'm not happy that you went behind me to talk to someone else. Whatever the issue is, instead of fighting in the public places, instead of raising hand to slap their peer because their, their peer has said something they didn't like. Because some of us we even hell our children when they go and fight and come back. The first question you ask, I hope your classmate didn't beat you. You are the one that beat your classmate, and they say yes. You heard them because they have become odogu fighters. So it's our core responsibility to train our children, because it's not every challenge that can be fought physical battle. No, there are difficult situations that requires logical engagement, emotional intelligence. So when you are dealing with people in higher authority, some of us lose opportunities, miss out in big openings because we are not able to manage our emotion in our field, in our career, in our workplaces. The same way we are raising children who are not able to maintain little relationship, not to talk of workplace relationship. We are not able to raise children who are able to understand these things that are not allowed and where they are not allowed, because they feel they can talk anyhow. That's how they are feeling. Please don't talk to me. I must talk. That's how I am. Nobody will shut me up. I must say it the way it is. I don't fear anybody. You don't have to fear anybody to be able to manage your emotions and be able to respectfully express yourself. So help your children express themselves the right way. Don't let them shrink. Don't let them hide their feelings. That when they are hot, they cannot talk. They will be grumbling. They will be hiding under the shadow of nobody and being victim to other people. Teach them safe communication. So what does your child What else does your child need to be able to navigate difficult situations? Your children need stability. If your children grow up in a stable family, a family where they know there is a standard, there is safety, mommy and daddy are in good relationship, supporting one another, supporting the children, they feel safe. Of course, it's not a perfect family. They may not have all the money, but when they feel that in this home, we are working as a team, we are growing, these children are able to build certainty around themselves and have reduced anxiety. So for younger children, when you establish a routine that they can predict, it builds stability in their mind. So they are able to determine this is what is obtainable and this is what is not obtainable. So when you are consistent with your values and your children know that this is what is accepted at home, this is what is not accepted in my family, they are able to know the right action in some situations. So they already know this is not our standard. So if it is offered to them, they keep away. So, for example, you can just start with building consistent practice around prayer life or prayer time, bedtime routines, the way you express yourself, family meals. Let there be something they can hold on as a pattern. Because children who build routine and consistency are able to enjoy emotional safety. So, as a family, as parents, it's your duty to build routine and consistent standard around your home to help your children build stability. What else do they need? They need faith that is demonstrated. We spoke more about it in our last session last week. When children learn faith, they learn it more from observation than the teaching. Sometimes those are too conceptual for them to really comprehend. But they're able to see you in action when you have challenge. You're talking to them about it. Okay, we need money to solve this problem, to buy a new car, to buy a new shoe, to buy your stockings. And we are trusting God to get the money. You've created in this child mindset, okay, we believe in God for provision of these things, not like because money comes, you buy them. You are building a faith. You are helping them understand, okay, there is a supreme authority that you trust in beyond your effort, beyond your labor. Because all your efforts will not give you the fulfillment life we need. All your money will not solve all the problems that you can ever face. And the best gift we can give to our children is the gift of our faith. Introducing them to a higher authority, to God Himself. The best security you can give to your children, not just for their physical life existence, but for their eternal destiny, is introducing them to God, to the faith you practice every day. And they can only grab this through practical engagement, through seeing you pray about things, talk to them about things. When you are under pressure, not being everywhere, looking for shortcuts, but let them see you calmly believing in God's providence. So let them see you practice your faith consistently. Let them see hope, even when things are not certain. Some things you don't have the answer. You can tell them, I don't have the answer. I'm trusting God. I'm believing in God for help. These are the ways we can transfer our faith These are the ways we can demonstrate our faith. So it becomes their anchor during their own time of challenge. So when they face challenge, they will remember that there is God who my parents have always trusted on. And when the miracle and when the answers come, also carry them along. Remember, we prayed for that stockings for God to provide. Oh, God provided this. So even if it's what you did, you sold something, it's a business you did, or you even worked, let them know. I I worked, God provided a work opportunity, job. I worked and gained salary, and we've bought this. Thanks to God. Return the thanks to God. Let them know that your life operates by faith. Okay? So, what damages children during hard season? Some families unintentionally create emotional wounds during difficult times. So you see parents become agitated, anxious, aggressive. You see them under pressure, they are shouting always. You see them making fearful conversations or emotional withdrawal. Some of them self, they are not able to control their stress level and responses. So their nerves are itching. So you see them, they will transfer aggression from wherever to the home. And then the burdens are upon the children. Children becomes even scared of approaching daddy or mommy because they don't know what to expect. So these are the ways we damage children when we face our challenges. And it does not help them to build capacity. So our children are not our emotional containers. Eh? So we shouldn't pour our unresolved pressure in them. We must learn to process difficult situations, not just for our sake, but for the sake of our children, because we are transferring what we carry. We are transferring our chaos. We are transferring our confusion, our distress. In the atmosphere, our children are growing. We are transferring it to them. These things are contagious. That's how, when you see your children, sometimes they do the same thing you are doing to their younger ones because they have captured it. So, what are the practical ways to train children during difficult situations? Because we are talking about empowering them, having them capture this skill. And we have said it's not a one-time solution, it's what we do consistently. So we need to teach problem-solving skills. How do we do this? So instead of rescuing your children, help them to reason things. Ask them some questions. Let them reflect. Ask them, okay, what do you think we should do? And give them time to process it and give you an answer. Even if it's not correct, what you have done is make them understand that when there is a challenge, they can think to find a solution instead of looking for answers from other people or giving up. So teach your children to process discomfort. Teach them how to think through calmly, not in distress. All right? So let them see you calm, even when your inside is boiling with confusion and uncertainties. Let them know that they can be calm in distress and be able to reason properly. Normalize prayer as a Christian home. Make prayer a normal practice. There should be a standard that your children know that cannot be compromised. Praying daily, praying in the morning, praying at a certain time. They must begin to internalize is not an option. It's not compromisable because you're trying to show them the way out. Prayer is the way, the access to solution that no man can provide. And like I said, your connections can fail. Your money can fail. But you see, he who is in heaven, he does not fail. So let your children understand that prayer is not only for emergencies. That is a bank. You fill in your prayer point that you can cash out in time of need. Let them realize, acknowledge that prayer is relationship and their strength, because there will be times of weakness where no man will help you even when they are willing to, but they don't have the capacity. Let's celebrate emotional honesty. So when children express emotion respectfully, don't shame them, guide them gently. That's how they grow up to become honest with you. When they know that they can tell you how they feel, they can tell you when they begin to have crush on someone. They will tell you when someone approaches them for a relationship. They will tell you when they become emotionally connected to someone. They can open up to you when they begin to feel tempted to follow their peers to do a particular thing. If you have not built emotional safety and have not celebrated their times of vulnerability to you, you will lose those opportunities in the future to keep them away or save them from trouble. We've talked about model calmness. Let them see you calm because they capture your emotion. They borrow your emotional regulation, your children. So if you are able to learn to be peace in times of storm, you will be able to teach them the same. Teach them hope. One of the difficult things to withstand or uphold, that's the right word, uphold, in times of challenges is hope. Holding your hope, your confidence in what you have believed. So, you see, you need to teach your children not to attach or define their identity with their challenges. Some children struggle with who they are. They judge themselves based on what happens around them. But we need to teach our children that beyond the circumstances, beyond the challenges of life, who they are is bigger than what they face. They are not defined by what they face. So you need to teach them that even though the moment is hard, it's not permanent. There are better times and opportunities ahead. And as you conclude tonight, can I ask us important questions? How does your family respond to pressure? Do you give in? Do you look for shortcuts? Do you look for easy way out? Or do you calmly face it? Do you process it as a family, as a team, and look for solution and seek the help of the Holy Spirit? Do you go seeking for counsel from professionals, or you go to social media to make all those kind of posts you make and allow the world to see your trouble and then give their confusing ideas? That's how you will see your children. They will face challenge. They will go on social media. when they are supposed to seek for the answer from within. So how do you face your pressure? How do you respond to pressure? What emotional patterns are your children picking from you? So it's quite understandable that at early age, they are everywhere. They will even throw themselves boo, on the floor, even though they get hot on top of whatever frustration they are experiencing. But can we say we are teaching them calmness and a better way of expressing themselves? Because beyond those moments, there's a the deeper, more costly challenges that will come in the age they are they being prepared for it? Whatever age they are, can you say that your child can face some certain level of challenges peculiar to their age grade? Preteens, teens, young adults, older adults. Do you think your children are being equipped, or are they the ones that will throw the towel, give up, get depressed, start looking for how to kill themselves? Are they the ones that will hit their head on the wall because they are not having their way? Are we raising fearful children or resilient children? Because some of us, we are busy scaring our children. We are busy making them scared. And then they are looking for shortcut away from whatever fear we are trying to instill in them. So some of them, they used to scare us with, if you sleep with a boy, you will get pregnant. It's not even like it's not even a thing now, because they know how to divert from that. So what values is keeping your children? What is helping them build resilience to withstand pressures of life? So the times where we use fear to raise children and get results is not here, because they will go and ask ChatGPT on how to bypass your scary, threatening, and fearful schemes. They will hear from their classmates what they have done, and nobody caught them. So you see beyond those your schemes or punishment, where we talk about helping them build resilience, that they can fight for themselves, that they can stand for themselves, they can defend themselves, they can help themselves, even when you are not there. They will know who to reach out to, they will know who to connect to. That's the kind of children we should be thinking about raising in this generation. Children who will not be threatened into compromise. Children like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who will say, even if our God will not save us, O ye king, we will not bow to your idol. We need to raise children who are not just living to survive, but operating in emotional wisdom. So the question is that where you are gearing to? Or you think it's about feeding them, shouting at them, and doing it your own way? So, as we close, I want to challenge us today. Difficult seasons is not meant to destroy us nor our children, but is meant to be an opportunity to intentionally develop emotional strength, wisdom, compassion, patience, faith, and resilience in children in our own personal lives, so that when storms come, It will become a stepping stone. It will be an opportunity to build a stronger family, wiser and more grounded children. So do not underestimate the power of your presence and guidance, your prayers, your emotional stability and calmness in times of trouble, in times of challenges, because they are molding the next generation. They are molding children who will be able to thrive in their generation to maintain the sanity, the peace of the social system. Let's look beyond our immediate space, beyond our own personal life. Let's remember that our children rarely forget how families make them feel during difficult situations. That sense of belonging, safety is very important because it helps them thrive. Okay? So this week, try to be intentional. Have intentional conversations with your children about challenges, about emotional, the best way of expressing their emotions and hope. Remember, keep your judgment by the side. Eh? Don't be the judge of the jungle. Your children are not looking for judges. They are looking for safety, a space to fully and safely express themselves. That's what they are looking for. Provide that for them if you must keep them safe. So your children need to be strong to face challenges. So don't create escape for them. Of course, we are not saying you should abandon them. Walk with them through it. Help them process it properly and build them to be able to thrive. They need